Welcome to the Arlington School Board meeting. I want to thank you all for joining us, whether you're in person or on Zoom or watching later on YouTube. We're glad you're here. We're going to start this meeting by calling it to order, and then we'll have our Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Alex and our roll call attendance after that. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Director Diamond?
Here.
Director Kelly? Director Watts?
Here.
President Levesque? Here. Director Knapp? Here. Student Advisor Van Beek? Here. Student Advisor Phillips? Here. Superintendent Sweeting? Here. Thank you. Next up, we'll have our approval of the regular meeting agenda. Do we have anything anyone would like to change on the agenda for tonight?
No, I would like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second. It has been moved by Director Diamond and seconded by Director Knapp to approve the meeting agenda for tonight. Madam Clerk. Director Diamond.
Aye.
Director Watts.
Yes.
President Levesque. Yes. Director Knapp. Aye. The agenda is approved. That brings us to our presentation portion of our meeting, and we are very delighted to welcome the Arlington High School Sports Medicine class with their principal and their CTE teacher, Nurse Nikki Ross Kelly. We'd like to welcome them all up to tell us their presentation on emergency action plans that they've created. So come on up.
You may have two girls have to walk in. They were coming straight from practice, so please excuse when they walk in. We're gonna just jump right in. Of course.
The girl she said right underneath. Right underneath. Yep.
Hello. So a little brief explanation of our things. So the EAP stands for Emergency Action Plan. And then we're all assigned a school and came up with some scenarios everywhere from Arlington Youth Football Association to Arlington High School. During this unit, we learned about safety in the workplace. So we made posters demonstrating the different ways to evacuate and be safe during emergencies.
Hi, my name is Alicia.
So Alexis,
Looks like.
what's up here?
And then I'm Chris Bidell.
I'm Carly Ovina.
I'm Kill Principal.
I'm Emily Deskin. Tina Gapalinda. And I'm Rabia Subiova.
Quick access. So when we were creating these posters, we had to create a scenario and we had to put information based on it. And basically what's on there, there's a small section that they put, it's for CPR training, bleeding control, choking and using an AED. And then they also created symbols for simplicity. They also created emergency procedures and escape routes. They developed, they had to find out information based on the school that they had picked. And they had to find out where all the AEDs, first aid kits were, and their floor map outs and their escape area they're supposed to meet up with.
The rescue and medical duties / chain of command. So on there, you'll see the chain of command, their name, and then how to contact them and their role. And then same with the medical chain of command. So chain of command, role, and how to contact them.
And all the AED, fire, and first aid kits were all signed or highlighted in the posters. And project benefits.
So each project has different benefits. So it'll be a scenario that each person talked about. So that each came up with the scenario for each school and then how to evacuate or what to do for the steps of the emergency. Oh, yeah, it benefits me because I plan on being an EMT firefighter. And so just knowing the steps and processes that I would have to take to assure people's safety and be able to be there when people need it and understand what they would go through.
My benefits learning this topic, I've learned, especially since I want to become an ultrasound tech. Learning about these has informed me how important it is to learn emergency routes and meet up areas based on the building. So when learning about that and later on, hopefully becoming an ultrasound tech, I could help people guide their way out of the building safely.
This helps me, like learning about the EAPs and OSHA, and it's helpful because I hope to be a teacher or like a nurse, and it's just good to know because in like any building or anything that I'm in case of a emergency, I have like a big idea of what to do and how to like approach it and who I can call and stuff.
For me, learning about EAPs will help me into whatever career I wish to go into, especially for me because I want to go into the medical field. Knowing about EAPs will help me save lives and be able to take action during an emergency. This helped me to gain confidence in how to act in an emergency, and now I'm actually able to help others and navigate them.
This helps me because I possibly want to be a firefighter, and this comes with knowing how to safely evacuate someone, knowing safe routes and other stuff I can do, and know how to approach calmly and confidently through a dangerous situation.
This helps me because I want to become a nurse someday and work in the hospital. And I learned that most programs have similar EAPs and that they are able to have similar ways to get out. And so it lets me understand what to do in a bad situation. And it also like allowed me to learn what to do when I go off to college because I plan on going to WSU for nursing. And so it gave me a good idea for my future if something bad ever happens.
Learning about EAPs has helped me because I'm a dance teacher and I hope to coach in the future as well. And so learning how to safely evacuate people, especially kids, is really important, and knowing routes and safe ways to go about it.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
No, right? So did you guys each pick a different scenario? Okay, and then is this for anybody or was it more just like research? Are you doing it for like the principal?
Part of our framework.
Huh?
It's part of our framework
Okay.
for our school. And then they got to meet with Brian Lewis. Who came. Gave them more info about the school. Tell them about your guys' scenarios.
Yeah, that's why
Yeah.
I'm curious about that too.
Mine is more generic. So it's not, we didn't choose a specific scenario, but we do have fire, medical, and lockdown. And it is specific to AYFA football. So if they're out on the field, it shows all the evacuation routes for each of those scenarios.
My school is President's Elementary, and for my scenario, we have a basketball game going on in the gym. And as you can see, that's right here. And essentially, since there's a stage right by where the gym is, a cord ended up catching fire and it caused a fire in the gym. And so I drew out all the different scenarios. So I have fire where the ADs are, the nurse and the administrative staff. And as you can see, there's different ways to enter and exit the building. And this essentially helps little kids be able to find their way out of the building because typically in elementary schools, you can have kids as little as preschool and kindergartners who don't exactly know how to get out. And so this really taught me how to educate them.
My situation is that there was a knife pulled on the opposing side of John C. Larson Field, Arlington, and that we are evacuating people out through 2 exits into a safer area. And
So my scenario is a volleyball game in post middle school. So we have 3 different scenarios, which is fire, medical emergency, and lockdown. So we marked different colors on the map, how we should evacuate or should we close the doors and for a different emergency. So we had Haller Middle School, and our scenario is that during football practice, if there was an emergency like an active shooter or like something dangerous outside that would require people to go inside, we would have everyone follow the evacuation routes inside of the main building, which would be, they would all be going into the gym, where they would receive proper attention.
Any more questions?
Did it help you feel a little bit more confident in your safety, knowing that people do this all the time for you at your school? And how you feel? Do you feel safe at school?
It definitely helps me understand like the steps that a lot of people in our school take to understand our safety. And then now we know on like a more deeper level, like what everyone has to do. So like, let's say you're at a football game and then they're not just letting people in at the gate. They're also, you know, having to flow traffic if there's an emergency, and everyone has an understanding of what they have to do in that specific moment. So it's nice knowing that everyone knows what they have to do for if something happens, they're not just there. So nice to understand that.
I really like Caleb's poster because I never really thought about if there was an emergency at a football game or outside of the building at high school. So it's kind of helpful to know like there are plans, routes and stuff.
Do you find yourselves going out in the community in other areas now after doing this project and looking around and going, oh, this would be a great escape if something were to occur?
Yeah, I think that through learning these action plans for our school, I think that we also learned what to do in like other situations, like the grocery store or the movies. Most places typically do have similar action plans. And so it was very helpful getting to learn these and know that everyone does have a job, whether you think that they do or not. And everyone is trying their best in following correct procedures.
I also love seeing so many of you want to get into healthcare.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any more questions?
Student advisors have any questions for these of their peers? Okay,
Thank you so much for your guys' time.
Thank you.
excellent job, very impressive. Thank you. And you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you don't have to. There's not much on the agenda. Next up is our approval of the minutes of our regular meeting minutes from October 13th. Any changes, or do we have a motion to approve the minutes from October 13th?
Make a motion, we approve meeting minutes of October 13th.
It's been moved by Director Knapp and seconded by Director Watts to approve the October 13th regular meeting. Director Diamond,
Yay.
Director Watts,
Yes.
President Levesque. Aye. Director Knapp. Yay. October 13th minutes are approved. And do we have a motion to approve the special joint meeting with Lakewood minutes from October 22nd?
I'll make a motion to approve the board special joint meeting with Lakewood.
I will second that.
It has been moved by Director Watts and seconded by Director Diamond to approve the special joint meeting minutes from October 22nd. Madam Clerk.
Director Diamond,
Yes.
Director Watts,
Yay.
President Levesque,
Aye.
Director Knapp.
Yes. Those minutes are also approved as presented. And next, we would have our public comment portion of our meeting. But I don't think we have anyone sign up. Is there anyone in person or on Zoom that would like to speak? Moving right along to our consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve our consent agenda?
I will make a motion to approve consent agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved by Director Diamond and seconded by Director Knapp to approve the consent agenda. Madam Clerk.
Director Diamond,
Aye.
Director Watts,
Yes.
President Levesque, Director Knapp.
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. And we have one item of new business for our meeting tonight. And that is our report of donations approved by our superintendent for October.
So in October, I approved a donation from the Pioneer PTSA in the amount of $1,044.90 for a TV and wall mount to be, and actually Mary, President Levesque and myself, we saw this during this last visit to.
There's like a post-it note that
Yeah,
says
post-it
TV
note.
here.
And so they have the school has houses where each student and staff member is a part of a house. And so they will put this TV up there and it's to display, points, but also to give announcements to people as they walk in. So a neat thing. And
We don't have to take action on it.
nope, no, because it's under, it was high appropriated, it's under 5,000.
Thank you for sharing that with us. And that brings us to our informational items. We'll start with our superintendent's report.
So the fall sports are wrapping up. Girls soccer and boys tennis are complete for the fall. The district race for cross country is this Saturday at Lakewood, and football finishes their leagues at Lake Stephen. It's coming up. And volleyball has 2 more games that are away, and then they have one that's at home. Be complete, and that will be all season of sports. And I want to thank publicly all of the coaches and the parents and the cheerleaders and the band and the families for making that all happen. So it's good. And then I have a couple of thank you notes. Let's see, these are for students that last year received $2,500. First one, a huge thank you for awarding me this amazing scholarship. It means the world to me, and thanks to you, I won't have to pay for my schooling at Everett Community College. I feel so blessed, and I'm thankful that your amazing scholarship is there to help not just me, but other kids who may have the same financial struggles. Thank you. Next one, thank you. Without this award, it wouldn't be possible for that I am grateful. Learning that I was chosen as recipient of the Merle McGuire Male Scholarship made my night. I'm forever grateful for the amazing Arlington community members like you. Thank you for supporting my dreams, our dreams. The next one is from somebody we know quite well, Son person. This student advisor to the board, so this is from Nathan. Thank you so much for allowing me the honor of accepting this scholarship. I am so blessed to have a community who cares for and encourages higher education. As I continue my journey and further my studies, I will always carry with me the pride and love of Arlington, spreading kindness and understanding. This money generously donated will greatly help in relieving the financial burden of attending a 4-year university. Due to my situation, my parents and family are unable to assist me, so receiving the Arlington Dollars for Scholar Merle McGuire Male Scholarship helps more than words can express. Thank you from a grateful heart. Two more. I am one of the 2,500 Merle McGuire Endowment Scholarship recipients. I would like to express my gratitude for this generous gift. My biggest worry about college is how I will pay for the tuition. This scholarship eases some of that burden. The scholarship will benefit my pursuit of a film production major at Middle Tennessee State University. I plan to one day make films and the experience I gain from college will help me accomplish this goal. MTSU offers internship opportunities for students. It is an excellent opportunity to gain knowledge and get my name into the industry. Aside from filming for the internship art classes, I make comedy videos on my YouTube channel as a hobby. I write comical social criticisms and produce comedy music videos to accompany them. I will use my knowledge from MTSU to produce higher quality work. Along with developing my skills with film, I am excited to live in the college setting and get to know people with the same interests and passions. I have been looking for a great community of like-minded people, and I'm confident I will find one at MTSU. I have reached out to people who will be attending MTSU and have connected with them through our similar interests. Tennis is one of my favorite hobbies, and I have arranged to play tennis with some of my future college classmates. I am very grateful and appreciative of the Merle McGuire Male Endowment Scholarship, which will help me achieve my dreams and help to pay it forward into the future. Finally, thank you so much. I am a graduating senior on my way to college. I plan on going into veterinary medicine and computer science, and the support you guys have given me brings me closer to my goals. From what I know about Merle McGuire Mayo, he served in World War II, returned after his service, eventually retired, and passed away at 94 years of age. His story is similar to my grandpa's. He served in the Vietnam War, mostly worked with computers. Hearing his story sparked my love for computers. So in a way, both of them are helping me fight for my dreams. Hopefully that helped you put a face to the receiver of this scholarship. And I am once again so incredibly grateful for this opportunity that you have provided me and so many of my classmates. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. And so each of those received $2,500. And thank you.
And that brings us to our legislative update and discussion, and Ms. Sherry is absent this evening. She's not feeling very well. And I just want to bring up something that maybe she would have said, and that's that we had a great opportunity to participate in an activity with our some of our local legislators and school leaders and administrators this past week at Everett District Office, and it was quite encouraging. And Dr. Sweeting, along with some other superintendents, did a great job presenting some of our biggest needs, our biggest challenges, and all the positive things that they could think of. And it was quite remarkable and well attended by a lot of school district members and principals and administrators. So that's great. That is all I have for the legislative update and discussion on behalf of Sherry Gull. And that brings us to our comments from board members. So I know our student advisors are well prepared tonight to give us a very robust report. So we'll start with Maddie Van Beek, our senior. I know she took notes. There's a notebook.
Oh, yes. So I brought my notebook with me. Weston, each week, the staff have a meeting, I think it's a PLC meeting, and last week I went before their meeting started, and I just kind of went as a board member, just asking if they had any concerns. So I'm just presenting concerns that staff at Weston have brought to my attention. One of them is the amount of energy drinks that have been brought on the campus, just like insane consumption of them, and it's just really concerning because I see people walking around with like 3 big monsters, and it's just really concerning for the health of our students. Another one is I think Arlington has no cell phone policy, and the staff have been wanting to bring that upon Weston. Cell phones are a big distraction and problem in schools nowadays, so that is a big concern of theirs. Weston school starts at 7:55. I think Arlington starts at 8, right? So we start 5 minutes before. But the kids get dropped off, I think, at Arlington beforehand, and that is causing the buses to be late to Weston. So most of the time, the buses arrive at 8:05, so that's 10 minutes after the first period starts. And they were just wondering if maybe the buses could be sent out sooner. And literally, like, almost all of the time, we don't get any calls with reasons why the bus is late. They just have to delay classes and smush all the learning into a smaller time gap because of the bus delays. And the last one we have is safety concerns with the school next door that our space is being rented out to. There's lots of volume and noise concerns, and the supervision that is being provided with that school doesn't seem to help. And it just sometimes through the windows, there can be some violence that the students from our school is seeing, and just the volume is really distracting, like being on walls and everything. And they're just wanting, I just wanted to bring that up because it is affecting our school day, and yeah.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Well done. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm.
Energy drinks is new new
Yeah.
information.
All right. So one thing I had was that I was able to read. I'm not stopping the map. No. That Arlington, the high school, the bell times changed in the middle of October. They added 5 minutes to fifth period for announcements. But we're taking that away from lunch. That's the main problem. So our students are told to use the restroom, to get to their lunch, go grab lunch, go sit down, do homework, cram for a test, and eat and socialize all at the same time. But they're cutting our time by 5 minutes, which is 5 minutes you could be using, going, getting lunch, using the restroom, doing stuff you're told to do in that time, and then having the rest of the time to socialize. We're told we're not allowed to socialize during the other piece of class. That's time to learn. Lunch is when we're supposed to socialize, right? But what they did is they took our passing period, they just included that in our lunch and said, this counts, even though students are using that time to actually get to lunch through the very small crowded hallways where everyone's pushing and no one is courteous to anyone. That was something that I know a lot of kids were feeling very strong feelings about. I think me especially as someone who used that time to study and try to go grab lunch and the line is out the door. And I just think something that should come to, I know some students have written to the principal already, but I don't, with the announcements we have, they're like 1 or 2 minutes, talk about sports a little bit. Oh, it's like for lunch the next day. They throw in a joke. It's not 5 minutes worth, and it's not especially not worth taking away from our lunch. And my other thing that he's so excited for is called a monster mash, is what I was writing. A monster mash. Eagle Creek did a monster mash, which I lightly attended and looked around. They had like a little dance room in the school and had like trunk or treat around in the back. The kids were very excited for it, very dressed up. That's at Eagle Creek, and then this ties into the new job. I started working at the Boys and Girls Club, so I'm actually gonna be at all the elementary schools, getting to see like on a day-to-day basis now what's going on in the district. Yeah. Yay. So it's great.
Did you dress up as a monster mash?
I didn't know there was a monster mash. I know.
Be prepared next year. Right, Director Dyer, anything to add? Director Knapp, anything to add?
Not very much. I was kind of excited to see, I used to teach after school art classes through a nonprofit in some of our elementary schools, and now those students are coming up to high school. So it's fun to see them also come here and present. And I'm like, do you remember that art projects that we did? I don't know if they usually do. So that's like the second one that I've seen in 2 weeks now. And it's just a lot of fun. So yeah.
Director Watts.
I attended cross-country leagues this last weekend and watched our girls get first place and our JV boys and our varsity boys get second, and just so impressed with the team after a big chunk of seniors leaving. They've just really kind of elevated it and made it their own, so that was fun to see. I actually had one of the seniors come up and I just didn't realize how impactful it is to cheer on everyone. So I learned everyone's names, through the last 4 years, and he came up, gave me a hug because it was going to be his last race, and just said, "You were so loud that whole 4 years, and I just really appreciate you cheering me on. You were one of my biggest supporters." So that just realizes how much of an impact someone can have on someone's life being out there, and such good stuff. And the parents, that senior class last year was a really involved class. So seeing those parents from the underclassmen coming up and making pulled pork sandwiches and, fed well. And it's good to see that they're making it their own instead of waiting for someone else to do it. So I'm really impressed with you two for bringing these concerns forward. That's what we need to hear. So I very much appreciate it. Very sure. Yeah.
Thank you, Director Watts. I wanted to say that I enjoyed school visits this last week or so. We had some opportunity to listen to some kids with some of our school visits and our student voices, and it's always my favorite. And then I went to the football game in the rain on Friday night. I stayed warm and dry, but the football team did not, and it looked like they were playing in a lake. It was pretty wet out there. they still won, so yay, go Eagles. And then the band sounded great too, in case you're wondering. And that is our comments from our board members. And then now I just want to remind you all about our next meeting, and that is Monday, November 10th at 6 p.m. And I think that it's a day off of school, correct? And Veterans Day is now Tuesday. So we have school on Monday, yes, the 10th, and a board meeting, and then there's no school on the 11th. But I'm so glad that worked out really well for everybody to have such a solid amount of time off. And next up, we're going to have an executive session, and I'm going to read the script. And then we will come back to adjourn only, and our student advisors do not have to stay. They can if they would like to. We will now recess this meeting so that the board may convene in an executive session to review the performance of an employee. I estimate the executive session will last approximately 5 minutes, during which time no final action will be taken. Following the executive session, this meeting will be reconvened for the sole purpose of adjournment. Okay, so on my watch, so 6:31. We'll be back at 6:36. That's math. Board has returned from executive session. And entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. It's been moved by Director Diamond and seconded by Director Watts to adjourn the meeting. Director Diamond?
Yes.
Director Watts?
Yes.
President Levesque? Yes. Director Nance? Yes. Meeting is adjourned. I'd stay. What if I don't say no? What if you say no?